Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1552A, and today's date is April 24th, 2018, and the title of the episode is The Creation of a New International Trade Currency Will Damage the Dollar. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, it looks like the central bankers, they have done it. They have created the bubble of all bubbles in the housing market. And again, you need to remember that this is in the 20 cities that Case-Shiller follows, and they include this in their stats. Now, what the central bankers have done is they have pushed the prices of homes to the highest that we've seen. Actually, higher than the peak of 2006, almost 7% above that. So this shows us that this bubble is huge. Now, the housing market is starting to overheat. Now, according to the latest BLS data, average hourly wages for all U.S. workers in November rose at a relatively brisk 2.7% relative to the previous year. Now, it is below the Fed's target of 3.5% to 4.5%. And the economists, they're scratching their heads. They're saying, okay, wait, let's go back up here for a sec. We have 2.7% wage increase. We're supposed to have anywhere between 3.5% and 4.5%. The unemployment rate is at 4.1%. And no slack in the economy fails to boost wage growth. Now, if we don't have the wage growth, how is the housing market doing better and better? That doesn't make sense. Because if we take a quick look at the U.S. housing, it shows that while wages may be growing at roughly 2.7%, according to the latest Case-Shiller data, 18 of the 20 metro areas in the U.S. saw home prices grow at a higher pace. So basically, how are these people affording these homes? They're not. There's something wrong here. Something doesn't add up. And they keep telling us that existing homes, new homes, sales are going fantastically. And we had a drop in February of new home sales, about 0.6%. It was revised to 3.6%. So we had a negative 0.6%. It was revised higher to 3.6%. And if we take a closer look at the numbers, we look at them and we say, okay, how is this possible? Because in the Northeast, well, new home sales are down by negative 54.8%. The Midwest is down by negative 2.4%. The South came in at 0.8%. The West is the only place where we see housing numbers, new home sales, up 28%. But we have unemployment at 4.1%. People are making less money. People have part-time jobs. They don't have the full-time jobs. They're not saving because we know the savings rate is continually declining. Home ownership is at the lowest that we've ever seen it, but they're telling us that everything is fine? No, something is wrong here. Somebody is lying. Someone is manipulating the data to make everyone believe that we are in this incredible economy and we're just chugging along. Now, this started back in 2008, right after the financial crisis, and they haven't stopped with the data. It's continuing on here. But when we start to look at other indicators like the Richmond Fed survey, it has crashed by most in 25 years. Now, we came from record highs just a couple months ago, and then all of a sudden, manufacturing has crashed by the most, like we said, in 25 years. New orders collapsed by negative 9 from plus 17. Order backlogs plunged by negative 4 from positive 10. And we could see that the work week dropped notably. So something is going on here. The economy is not doing as well as everyone is saying. All they're doing is manipulating the numbers. We've seen this before back in 2000, prior to 2008 actually, when they told us the economy is fantastic, everything is contained, housing is not going to be dropping, the market looks great, none of these corporations are in trouble, the subprime securities are all AAA. All of it was a complete and utter lie. Now, other countries realize that the dollar is doomed. They realize that the economy basically is fake, phony, and false. We see that Russia and China, they've been purchasing gold. Actually, Russia has bought 300,000 ounces of gold in March, and it's nearing 2,000 tons in gold reserves. Remember, Turkey is removing its gold from the U.S., and other countries like Venezuela, Germany, they have already repatriated their gold, and other countries are looking to do the same. Now, they realize, these countries, that something is going on with the economy. There's too much debt. They know the dollar's not going to be around that much longer. The leaders of these countries, they know what is happening here. They know that everything is about to reset, that the debt level around the world, which is caused by the central bank, cannot continue on. This is why Putin took control of his private Western central bank. He calls the shots in his country. China is now working with the United States and with Putin to remove the central banking system. Now, the BRICS are creating a new international trade currency. Now, this is going to damage the dollar. It's going to be a catastrophic event. Now, countries, and we know that China is creating the Belt and Road. They're putting in high-speed rails and things like that. We know they are part of the BRICS nations, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they're creating their own international trade currency. Now, let's take a look at what has already been done here, or is on its way. The Bank of Russia has already signed an agreement with China to set up bilateral gold trade, which should be formulated and functional in 2018. We know the BRICS, they have their own gold trading system, which again is going to be another blow to the Western powers. We also see that China is creating the Belt and Road and working very closely with the BRIC nations. Venezuela, well, they've embraced China's petro-yuan. China's new system to buy all future contracts in yuan, which can be easily convertible to gold at the exchange in Shanghai and Hong Kong, is now a reality. Bilateral trade between BRICS members and wider Eurasian partners, well, they're dealing in local currencies. Russia is getting ready to release their crypto ruble. The BRICS, well, it looks like they might be also moving to cryptocurrency. The US dollar is being actively challenged by the growing power of the Chinese yuan and the BRIC nations. And we know there's a lot of other countries that have been hit by sanctions, including Iran, Syria, and many others, and they're moving away from the dollar. What we're seeing right now is that all these countries, they are preparing for when the dollar collapses. This is why Trump is out there. This is why he dumped the globalist plan, because that cannot work. TPP has been struck down. NAFTA is being renegotiated. Their plans for everything else, well, that's going by the wayside. Bilateral trade agreements, just like China is doing, is happening right now. And this all has to be done because the system that we're so used to, the system that we've been brainwashed to accept, the fiat Federal Reserve system, well, it's about to go bye-bye. The central banking system is completely obsolete today. It is an old model, and it is no longer viable. And it was actually never viable. They pushed their way into the system by paying off government officials, by bribing others, and promising them a lot. This is why it's been kept alive for so long, because the government officials, well, they get free money, they get whatever they need from the central banking community, Wall Street that is intertwined with the central banking community, and this is why most of our politicians, when they go into the White House and then when they leave, they're very, very wealthy. And then after they leave, they're set up and they make even more money. Now, once again, what is happening here is the entire system is being dismantled, and it's happening at an accelerated pace. And we could see right now that the central bankers, they are screaming and yelling that if this continues, the system will not be able to continue on. And, whoever is doing this, which is Trump, well, he's going to be the one that they're going to have to blame. But again, I think what he's going to do is turn this around and actually blame the central bank, because there is no reason we need the central bank. They're not working for the people. They don't do anything for the people. It is a private corporation, and it's time to change this. We see many of the larger countries that are part of the BRIC system, they're looking at cryptocurrency. They're also looking at this new international trade currency. Now, at a high level, this is what they might use between countries, but at a low level, people will most likely use cryptocurrency to purchase their items because, first of all, we have the technology. It already exists. Everyone pretty much has a phone, and everyone knows how to use a computer. I mean, mostly. And people can do their banking or pay for things just like they do today, where they go into a store, they swipe a card, all you have to do is hold your phone up, and guess what? Your cryptocurrency can be transferred. Your cryptocurrency can be deposited right into your wallet or any other place that you set up. It might be an online wallet, an offline wallet, and again, it is a truth machine. You can always see where the transactions are. It's not going to give you your name and stuff like that, but you can see what has happened here, where it went to, what address it went to. So it always keeps a tally of who's doing what. Yes, there are ways to manipulate pretty much everything, even with the gold standard, because all you have to do, if you have these bad players, is take the fiat system off the gold standard or lease the gold out many, many times. Now, the main problem that we have with all this, and it seems to always go back to the same exact group of individuals, it's the central bank. Because the central bank is not working for the people. They have a different agenda where they want to print as much as they possibly can. They want full control. And with cryptocurrencies, without regulation, we don't need them. We don't need the banking system. We can be completely separate and apart from that system. Same thing with gold. If we have gold and we're issuing the paper currency, well, all we need to do is we issue the paper currency, which is attached to that gold, and that's it. That's the way it was done before the central banks. When the central bank came into existence, they're the ones who changed it. If we get rid of the central bank, guess what? We won't have a problem with cryptocurrency. Yes, there might be other little problems here and there, and we won't have a problem if we go on to maybe some type of gold confidence type of system. If the central bank is completely out of the picture, we have a better chance. This is what our founding fathers wanted in the first place. This is why they put it in the Constitution to coin our own money. We didn't need to look at a central bank, which was privately owned, to do it for us. I mean, look what they've done over the many, many years. They put the entire world into a huge amount of debt. So we are at the end cycle of their system. Remember, when you hold up that dollar bill or the $10 bill, it says Federal Reserve note. It does not say it's United States note. So it's their system. The entire world is built on their system. And their system, well, it can only exist for a certain period of time, and they need to reset it. And this is where we are right now. And they're getting very nervous and afraid because of, one, cryptocurrency. As we can see that more and more people are looking at this saying, hey, we can do a lot of stuff with this. The technology is there. We have the infrastructure. We can do a lot with it. And they're very nervous about this. This is why they want it regulated. This is why they want it stopped. This is why they're demonizing it so much right now. We also have countries that are ramping up on gold because they realize to give people confidence, you need to back your entire currency by something. To say, hey, listen, we're backed by gold. It's been a store of wealth since the beginning of time. And people know this. Countries know this. So our biggest enemy right now is the central bank. And we can see that countries are moving away from the dollar. They're starting new trade currencies. They're pushing new technology. And we're headed in a completely different direction where we don't need the central bank anymore. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.